perfectly clear. I am the answer. Oh, I am the light. I am the love. I am the spirit. I am the peace that's healing the world. I am the answer. I am the answer. I used to fight between wrong and right, watching my fears taking over my life. But now I know why I'm here. It's perfectly clear. I am the answer. Oh, I am the light. I am the love. I am the spirit. I am the peace that's healing the world. I am the answer. I am the answer. Everybody now, I am the light. I am the love. I am the spirit. I am the spirit. I am the peace that's healing the world. I am the answer. Here we go now. I am the light. I am the love. I am the spirit. I am the spirit. I am the peace that's healing the world. I am the answer. I am the answer. I am the answer. I'm the answer. I am the answer. I am the answer. Be the answer. I am the answer.
How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? Given the chance, I'm gonna tell you now. How many ways can I give thanks for the blessings I have known? I've got a list, and I will tell you how. Grateful for each breath awake, grateful for each step I take, grateful that I'm here to play my part. Grateful for the morning sun, grateful when the day is done, grateful that I have you in my heart. Grateful for this universe, for the better and the worse. Grateful that this world keeps spinning round. Grateful for my memory, Grateful for my hopes and dreams. Grateful for the blessings I have found. How many ways can I give praises for all the gifts I have? Given the chance, I'm gonna shout out loud. Grateful for each breath awake. Grateful for each step I take. Grateful that I'm here to play my part. Grateful for the morning sun. Grateful when the day is done. Grateful that I have you in my heart. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful now.
Where was the summer? Fall and winter came too fast. Somehow I made it. I'm wide awake. It's spring at last. If I could only bring them back, they'd still be moments from the past. It's simply beautiful to walk with open hands. Nothing to hide, nothing to grasp, nothing to break, nothing to last. Every death brings a new life. Every road, every mile to stress, nothing to climb, nothing to pass. Every death brings a new life. Every road, every mile. Take off your shoes, don't mind the rules. You're free to be starry-eyed and innocent if you choose. You're finally home. Some seasons let us be reborn. These deep dark places where we're torn. And when they tell you that your rose still has its thorns, you've nothing to hide, nothing to test. Love brought you here, now you can rest. Every death brings a new life. Every road, every mile. Take off your shoes, don't mind the rules. You're free to be starry-eyed and innocent if you choose. You're finally home.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Hello and welcome to the People of Diversity Sunday service. We are a multi-faith community and we believe there are many paths to one divinity. So if you would like to learn more about the pod, People of Diversity, go to www.podpeopleofdiversity.org and there'll be more things to learn after the message.
Wiccan Oracle and Bob Sima gave us message and music last week. This week we hear from modern mystic Christopher Timms, who will be accompanied by Drew Brown. And next week we'll hear from our Jewish representative, Leslie Zwick, and Brother Victor Morgado. So without further ado, let's dive right in.
Fear arrived this morning, like a storm pressing against the windows. It spoke uncertainties of endings, of failures, and of all the ways a life can come undone. And for a moment, I mistook its voice for truth. But fear is only weather. It moves through the valleys of the heart and through the forests of the mind. It asks to be believed. Instead, I open the door. I let it pass through me, like rain through branches, or like wind through tall grass. And when the sky cleared, the world had not ended. The trees were still standing, the birds still singing, the horizon still waiting. And there, beneath all the noise, was the quiet thing that fear could never take. The self. Still breathing, still standing, still becoming, still here.
Hey there, everyone. I'm Christopher Timms. Glad you can be here. And today we're going to talk about fear. And in some ways, talking about a quality, whether it's joy, whether it's sadness, whether it's fear, whether it's anger, by talking about it, you're going to bring it into your orbit. You know, Mom said, whatever you feed grows. So it's kind of the physics of wherever we put our 3 A's of attention: our attitude, our attention, and our awareness. So if we're going to talk about fear, which we will, I want to do it with a way that liberates you from the mechanisms that hook fear into your daily lives, because it's there all the time. It's there all around us. And so my foundational ideas in life are based in ancient traditions, and the most recent versions of those traditions are really from the Gnostics. All right, the Gnostic text. And I've been studying the Nag Hammadi library that was discovered in 1949 since probably 40 years, maybe 39 years from now. And the Gnostics most closely represented the teachings of Jesus during his time here. And as you know, in the New Testament, I think it's 16 times or 18 times in the New Testament of the conventional canon of the Bible, Jesus asks us to fear not, fear not, fear not. Well, you know, and that's also kind of labeling something for you to not do. And by labeling it, you're kind of engaging it. And the teachings of the Gnostics have to do with the integration of wholeness within each one of us, meaning that none of us are separate from God. There's no intermediaries necessary in the way I've taught all of this all these years. And what the Gnostics teach, what the Rosicrucians taught, what the ancient teachings from Egyptian mystery school teachings, the Greek mystery schools, any of that taught. There is no intermediary, and this is the essence of Tibetan teachings, Buddhist teachings, and pre-Hindu Vedantic teachings. There's the idea of no intermediaries, and that's really important to grasp. So consider the possibility that there's no need, and it's quite counterproductive to actually accept and introduce intermediaries between you and God, oneness, the universe. So fear is around us in life, just like joy is around us in life. Peace is surrounding us in this life. It's just a question of where's your attention? Where's your awareness? The 3 A's of consciousness again: attitude, attention, and awareness. Wherever you cultivate those qualities within yourself, that's what you're going to find. In the midst of the pervading insanity of the world in its state of transformation, if you're aligned with fear, with uncertainty, then that's what you're going to find. Things to be afraid of, things to be uncertain about. You'll always find exactly what it is that you're looking for. It's a quantum physics principle. So one of the best renderings and teachings about fear comes from Sun Tzu, The Art of War. The Art of War is not as much about war as it is about the strategy of everyday living. Okay, so you can transpose it into business, into war, into personal relationships, to quite a profound piece of work. So Sun Tzu writes many different profound things, of course, amazing things in this little book. It'll take you about an hour to read. And you're probably most familiar with the idea of Sun Tzu, which is that to divide is to conquer. To divide is to conquer. And anything in life that separates you from your brothers and sisters in life, anything that separates you from nature, anything that separates you from God, is incorrect. And that to divide is to conquer, because as soon as you divide a person within themselves, you separate someone from God, then they feel vulnerable. They feel like they're inadequate, that they need something, that they're broken, need to be fixed. We can language it many different ways. So to divide is to conquer. You see that all throughout history. Religious history, military history, government history, education history, societal engineering history. You just see it everywhere. To divide is to conquer. So what Sun Tzu says about fear is really something that I've cultivated and developed within my psyche for 39 years. Actually, more than that. I've been teaching for 39 years, probably 45, 44 years since I discovered Sun Tzu and began to really dig into different versions, translations of that little book. So what he says is that fear wears many masks. All right. And it does. Fear, you can have fear of heights. You can have fear of being broke, fear of being famous, You can have fear of being sick. There's 1,000 different kinds of fears. Fear of spiders, fear of being wrong. Think of it in your own life. What are you afraid of? We've all got different points in our psyche where fear can wiggle its way in. I've experienced many of them. So fear wears many masks. But the true face of fear is the fear of the unknown. The fear of the unknown. And the fear really always has to do with what I call the great what if. And if your attitude, your attention, and your awareness, your 3 A's of consciousness, again, keep reverting back to what happened 10 years ago, what happened to you when you were 6, or depending upon your worldview, what happened to you in ancient Atlantis, what happened to you in your past lives. Okay. Whatever it is, it's projecting itself into the present moment, and the present moment has no past. It's the present moment, and the present moment has no future. So you're futurizing, and the way people futurize is to revert back to the patterns, momentum of their past experiences. So that's the face of the unknown. That's the face of the unknown. So what do we do, about this propensity that we have to face the future, which we do every moment of every day? We're facing the future, and instead of being held captive by our own past, to liberate ourselves from those patterns. There's patterns, there's routines, and there's ruts. All right? These are all different degrees of how deep your pattern goes. The rut is the deepest, and there's only one point that's deeper than a rut. So you have routines, patterns, ruts, and graves. And the only difference really between a pattern and a routine and a rut and a grave is its depth. Because that momentum doesn't stop when you hit the grave. When this avatar, this character that you're inhabiting right now is no longer in working condition. It doesn't stop. The momentum continues, and then when you reincarnate again, it's like Groundhog Day. Things just continue. And they continue until you have the point of self-awareness where you can say, I'm going to make this choice, but you feel like all of you wants to make maybe the same choice you've made 10 times. And really the choice for all of us to make is just to be present, just to be open to the field of dreams emanating from your own heart. Instead of your goal posters and your mind maps and, all of that. I think most of us reach a point of spiritual maturity where none of the things we can put in a mind map or a goal poster or a series of bullets, for our priorities in life, none of those things are really that meaningful. What's meaningful are the things that can barely be explained, barely be written down. And that's when we begin to overcome fear. Instead of worrying about the great what if this happens, what if you walk out in the street and get hit by a bus? What if, your airplane that you're taking on a vacation crashes? What if the kids grow up and are a mess? What if I have health issues? What if? And when we live in the great what if, then what happens is we end up shooting all over ourselves, and we should do this and we should do that, and mostly what happens is little incremental movements in any of the directions that you think would be helpful, and you move into a combination of paralysis and halfway moving forward. I'm sure everyone can relate to this. This is what fear does. And all that fear, all the different many masks that fear comes from, is derived from divide and conquer. That's the great conspiracy. That's the greatest of all conspiracies, is the conspiracy that conspires, for everybody to be thoroughly convinced that they're separate. You have your own little compartment. It's you. And there's a number of ways that has been very convincingly programmed into people for about 1,800 years. Because when you study the ancient cosmologies, like I have throughout my adult life, they're not there. That programming is not there. There was a fundamental grasp of the interconnectedness and the unity of everybody and everything. Right. So, the way to overcome this fear is not through the testosterone-driven push your way through, anything like that in life. That can get you, through some of the little fears, but it's not going to really take care of fear itself. There's a time to push through your ceiling. There's a time to challenge yourself. And there's a time to just take a step out of that action-reaction mode to fear and its many masks, and remember, and the word remember means, of course, to put the pieces back together again. As you put the pieces back together again within your own consciousness, no one can do it for you. No one can give it to you. You can be told all of this, but it doesn't matter until you do it for yourself. When you put the pieces back together, then you don't need to be reminded anymore, for that you are connected with everything, that you're an inseparable cell in the cosmic body of life. So, as we've shared, fear does take many different forms. I want to just share with you two little simple things out of my own life. Many years ago, 39, 40 years ago, I stopped everything that I was doing in my life and it was 1987. And if you don't know, that's the year of the harmonic convergence. And that was also when I was entering my first Saturn return. And I didn't know much about the harmonic convergence. I knew it was a cool, big, hippie, medicine wheels, sweat lodge, fun drumming thing, and didn't know much about it. I was very steeped in yoga, martial arts, psychedelic stuff, but that was me. I didn't know about this. But the energy was really potent, because within a few months of that time, everything systematically that I was doing with my life was just thrown off the table. I was in chiropractic medical school. I was dropped out of that because I knew I didn't want to do that. And was playing music full-time professionally in different parts of the East Coast, quit that. I was in contracting work, doing really well in as a contractor, builder, and I knew I didn't want to do that. And there's more, all of that stuff, everything you can imagine, personal relationship stuff, everything just was wiped off the plate. So what was there fear? No, yeah. But there was also underneath the fear, there was a sense of, wow, things are much simpler now. I have space. I didn't have any money, didn't have any way to do anything, but there was a simplicity to it. And so when all your busyness is taken away from you, you just inevitably have the opportunity to reveal to yourself what's most precious to you, what your real priorities are, and those are always intrinsic things. They're not external things. And that's what I did. I just continued developing within myself ways of explaining what I was experiencing inwardly to small groups of people. And then psychic fairs in different parts of the Northeast. I grew up in Delaware, so Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey, just psychic fairs and people's groups and all of that. And then within 2 years, I was teaching in 18 different cities, from Santa Cruz, California, to Dallas, Texas, to Montreal and Toronto. And there was no business plan. There was no backing of any kind. And it was still feast or famine. I'd still be doing really well, or I'd be scrounging. But it didn't matter, because there was no fear. There was literally no fear. There was no fear. Because the inner strength that I felt from being true to myself and living a set of values and priorities that most other people around me, including family members, could not grasp in any possible way. And here we are, 39 years later. And it's still feast or famine, and in these times that we're in right now, it's really easy for people to drop into fear. Anxiety. I remember at a Spirit Fest Expo, I had tapped out really all of my resources to get to the expo, to set up, to do, the monstrous number of tunings that we do over the weekend on the sound tables. And I was going to lecture, all of that stuff. And it's kind of like throwing the dice. You're throwing the dice, and I have an old motorhome that I use, so I don't have to stay in hotels or any of that kind of stuff. And I remember talking to Becky and Scott, and I said, I'm really just about broke here. I'm throwing the dice. Hope I make some money, or it's going to be running on fumes just to get home. Somewhere on the other side of Florida. I don't remember where it was. Becky and Scott said, well, let's go out to dinner. I said, well, I really can't afford to go out to dinner. I got food, Yolanda made for me. She said, no, we're going to go out to dinner. Becky made a face at me, and, okay, that's great. Thank you. And you reach a place within your heart where you're just doing the right thing. And doing the right thing doesn't have to be rewarded with big wads of cash. It's fun when it is. But when it's not, it's just the universe reminding you, why are you really doing this? Are you doing this for the money? Because you're not making any money right now. Are you doing this for the fame and fortune? Because you're not getting much in the way of fame and fortune. Why are you doing this? This is the question that you will have to ask yourself in your life. And as you transcend the many masks of fear through developing the interconnectedness, the union that we're all a part of, then a relaxed, peaceful stillness within you cultivates this emerging gift that is your life. You are the gifts of the Spirit, and you give that to the world. You give that to the world. And it doesn't matter. The money thing comes and goes. I've learned that. You take care of your health. You take care of your well-being to the very best of your abilities. I do. Those around me do. Because I pound on them about it. Let me tell you just one more thing. Fear in many different forms. When I dropped out of chiropractic school, that was the last time I had a class. I didn't take any more classes. I was teaching, doing my own research, exploring. I was in a different mode of life and have been. And many years ago, probably 35, 37 years ago, I was doing a 50-day juice fast, and I was traveling across the country in another motorhome, touring, lecturing, teaching, training, doing all the things that I was doing. And it was just intense. It was amazing. I felt like Superman. So I arrived in Santa Cruz. We got nice groups, teaching 5 nights during the week and every weekend for two weeks, I think it was. And I was at the gym one morning with a half a dozen of the other guys that would train with me at the gym. And I'm fasting now, and I'm on day probably 43, 44 of this fast juicing. And I felt like somebody stabbed me in the small intestine somewhere, just somewhere in my stomach, colon. It was like, and I just hit the floor. And I'm in the fetal position. Everyone comes around me. Oh my God, we got to call 911. And I go, don't call 911. Hang on. Don't call 911. And one of the guys these were all people from the Santa Cruz area. He just said, hey, we're going to go to the health food store. I said, oh, I go to the health food store. I can't even move. He said, no, there's a guy there you got to meet. So took me to the health food store. And this guy did something that I had never heard of before, called iridology. Okay, I understand what it means. What is iridology? Taking a picture of your iris and your sclera, that's the white of the eye, and just doing a whole breakdown. So I thought, okay, I'm here, I'm in pain. So he takes pictures and he does a quick analysis, and he says, I know you've been fasting. Everybody knows you've been doing this huge fasting thing, teaching thing, and what you've done because of the fasting and exercise that you're doing, you've broken down mucoid layers in the colon that have probably been there since you were 6 years old. and it's releasing toxins, it's releasing compartmentalized bacteria stuff, and that was a big one, and so he helped me a lot, put me on clay, a liquid clay, and it instantly neutralized all the pain. I felt fantastic, finished my 50 days. All of these years, I've been wanting to study iridology. And I've just had it on the back burner, way in the back shelf of my mind, because I've been doing all of this. The tuning fork work, the sound work, the mystery school teachings, vibrant health classes, all the different things that I do in life. And then in the fall of last year, I told Yolanda, I said, I need to study iridology. I need to do this. She said, what? And I said, yeah, I need to do this. She said, sure, whatever you want to do. So I did my research and I found the best place in the world to take iridology from, which is in Indiana. It's developed based on the work of the founder of iridology, the modern day founder of iridology, Dr. Bernard Jensen. So I enrolled, and as soon as I enrolled, it's a 6-month, really intensive, it's a master level class. As soon as I got in, I felt intimidated because I hadn't been in a class since, 1987. And I felt panicked because now I'm looking at the roster for my group, and this is all online. There's live stuff, but it's all online. And I haven't done a live online class. I've taught them, but I haven't been a part of one. It's a whole different animal. And now I'm finding, here, this lady's an eye surgeon. Oh God. And she's in my iridology class. And then there's naturopaths and chiropractors that have been practicing for 30 years, and there's all of these people that are way more educated, than me, specialized in their fields. I have a different set of skills. And when it started, the first section of material was all about a detailed anatomy and physiology class, like at 70 miles an hour, because they assume that everybody basically knows anatomy and physiology. And I do, but I'm a little rusty because I don't really use that kind of information all the time. Panicked. I was studying and reviewing, and here comes the final exam for this module of material, and so I sat down and I just did a couple breaths of chanting, and it's a timed exam. You can't just pause it, go away, come back. You're in for like 2.5 hours. So I sat down, did it, and when I hit the return button, it's like submit your exam for module 1, I got 100%. Not 93%, not 94, 100%. And I thought, really? Really? So sometimes that interconnectedness that we feel with all life, when you combine that with your stillness and your emptiness, it gives you the ability to tap in. Because I know I was tapping into stuff that I did in chiropractic school. I know I was tapping into stuff I did when I was working on my prereqs to go to chiropractic school, which was in the nursing programs. I know all that, but that was so long ago. So, and the languaging has changed, the research has changed, it's updated information now. But I faced that fear through my connectedness and my peace. And that was module 1. as I proceeded through the 6-month program, which I just finished, just graduated, right? I carried about a 93.7 average in the class. But there was zero fear after I got over myself. So the question is for you. Are you ready to get over yourself? And basically, getting over yourself just has to do with the fear that you're separate. No, but I have these issues. You know, it's all your story, whatever your story is. Does your story help you or hinder you at this point? You know, my story was hindering me. Didn't help me at all. So I had to get rid of the story and just be still, empty, and present. And then just forge ahead. And the fear ultimately has no power over you other than the fear that you give it by your own paralysis and your own self-judgment. So I wanted to share that with you. Yeah, at 68 years old, you can still go back to school and kick butt. And I very much look forward to incorporating all of that, you know, into my practice at the expos and in different parts of the world. So I want to thank you for taking the time and the trouble to be here today, to listen to all this. And if I've gone on a little bit long, you know, please forgive me. And I thank Becky and Scott for taking good care of me when I was really scrounging. And it's nice to know that we're all together in this. So until next time, Baraka Bashad. May the blessings be.
Thank you, Drew. You never cease to amaze me. And Christopher, you as well. We so appreciate you being in the family. Philip Lupo, Diego Ford, and the Pod Tech team. We really appreciate you guys too, and thank you for everything that you do to keep this show running. If you are out there in the world and you need things in this vein of work, contact Philip and the crew at the address below, and they will take care of you. Past services are available on the People of Diversity Facebook group, Facebook page, and on the People of Diversity YouTube channel. Now, if you just want to see today's or later on or last week's, you can get those on Facebook. But if you want to see all of the videos or some that are further back, go to the YouTube channel. They have a playlist function where you can search by topic. So if you wanted to see today's, you would search on fear. Or if you wanted to see all the talks by the Baha'i people or by the Muslims, you can search on that. So it works really well, but not so much on your phone. Do it on a computer or on an iPad, something, laptops, or what am I thinking?
My little pad.
Your little pad,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what you
just
meant.
an iPad, yeah. Anyway, do it on something beside your phone and it will work much better. You can get notifications about services by joining either the Facebook group or page or the People of Diversity YouTube channel, and you will get notified when those come up. We have a second broadcast of the morning service on Sunday evening at 5:45, and that's only on Facebook. So if you missed the first one, or you're at your regular church home, or you want to send somebody back, check it out on Sunday evening. I do that quite often. So, okay.
So magically, a newsletter appears every week.
Magic.
Magic, it just appears. On there is all kinds of information, what's going on, local folks doing cool things, what we have going on. Down at the bottom of that is an opportunity to connect into Pod Plus. So all of those things are important. If you want to be involved and get that newsletter weekly, newwaypod@gmail.com. Becky will put you on the list and send that out to you. Also, again, kind of doubling back to that Pod Plus. Pod Plus is a way for you to join us on a monthly contribution that allows us to set a budget and actually not have anxiety.
There's that. Yes.
So check that out and see if that's something that works for you, works for your family, works as a part of your tithe in life.
Some people, or I think a lot of people, think that because we're online that this is free, and we don't need support, but that's not true. We pay our speakers, we pay our musicians, we pay our tech team, we pay insurance so that we can do live events. We pay
the music people so that we can play music. We pay the streaming people so we can stream
exactly.
stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot involved. We don't pay rent. That's because this is our house. Well, we do pay rent, don't we? We don't pay us. Anyway, so it does cost money to keep this going, and whatever help we can get is greatly appreciated. Every week, Pod Live. I mentioned Pod Live. Pod Live is, we do on the first and the last Mondays of every month down at the Unitarian Universalist Friendship Fellowship in Rockledge. And the next one coming up will be the last Monday of June 29th. This is something we do quarterly, and it's very popular. So it's a sound bath with the Sisterhood of the Traveling Mystics. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Bring a yoga mat or a blanket or a pillow, whatever you want to lay on to be comfortable, or you can sit in the chairs there. They have the chairs that they have there are quite comfortable to sit in for the sound bath if you don't want to lay on the floor. So join us for that. Starts at 7 o'clock. It's love offering. We just have a basket sitting by the door. You can toss whatever you can afford in there for that. On July 6th, we're starting something pretty cool. It's going to be a 4-session workshop by Gloria Grace Rand, and it's called Prosperity for You. So she's going to do the first Monday for the next 4 months. So July 6th, August 3rd, September 7th, and October 5th. She will be doing the workshop. It is suggested offering of $20 per workshop. If you attend the first 3, you can do the last one for free if you want to. So that's going to be a lot of fun and really cool. Gloria's awesome. She's got a lot of things going on, and I think that I'm definitely going to do it. I think you'll enjoy it.
She does the Women's Prosperity Network too, right?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you or your business would like to sponsor one of these live events, go to thenewwaypod@gmail.com and let us know. It's $50. That's what we pay for rent at the Unitarian Universalist. And that's very helpful if somebody pays for that, so we don't have to. And at the beginning of the event, whatever it is, you can have the microphone for a minute or two and talk about your business or talk about whatever you want within reason. And and if you want to remain anonymous, that's fine too. So just think about that, sponsoring a Pod Live event. Okay.
We did all the countries of the world. We did the states of the United. And we are now doing the major religions of the world. There's 41 in our list. I'm not sure what number we're on at this point, but
About 10, I
10
think,
or 11,
somewhere in
there. Spiritism was derived from a Christian perspective in the mid-19th century. Spiritists believe in reincarnation and the communication with spirits. There's about 13 million followers, the majority of which are in Brazil. Let's bless spiritists and say these words together.
May peace prevail in spiritism. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail in me. Thank you. Okay. Again, tithes, donations greatly appreciated. www.podpeopleofdiversity.org if you'd like to do that online. And there's the opportunity to join Pod Plus there as well. So we end our services with a healing circle, an energetic healing circle. So bring to your thoughts in your heart anyone, any place, any person, any situation, whatever that you think could use some extra love this week. And we'll listen to this last song together. And don't forget to open up and get some of this on you. So thank you very much for being here. And we'll see you next time.
Have a great week.
One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me.